How am I just hearing about onion boils now? Have you heard of these things? Are they worth all the hype? Let's go find out. I'm Dave. You're watching Dave's Taste Buds, and welcome back. Got a strange episode for you today. Different. I saw this thing on Instagram a little while back. I saw it on TikTok. I seen it come up, I don't know, on some other kind of social media. I can't even remember. Maybe Elon Musk is talking about it.
Not everything is a conspiracy theory.
It's called an onion boil. I mean, we do, up here in New England, we do clam bakes. You know, that's kind of our thing. But I know the South has their boils with the crayfish or the crawfish, however you pronounce it.
Oh, yeah, you blend.
The spices, everything else, boil the whole thing. Now people are doing it with onions. I don't know. I've never done it before. I'm interested. I can almost kind of see them being, people call them a snack. Dude, I am not snacking on an entire onion, but maybe it'll work as like a side. So with like a steak, mashed potatoes, side of onion, that might work. So I'm gonna do that episode today. First, I'm gonna get into some of the ingredients I might use, may or may not use. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll show you how I make them. We'll test it out, and I'll tell you at the end if they're any good. So stick around. So let's get into the ingredients. So obviously, the star of the show is gonna be your onions. I'm gonna try to make one with like adobe seasoning, kind of go with like a Southwest, Mexico, Central South America kind of feel. I'm gonna try, I don't even know how any of this is gonna go. So a lot of this could just go completely south and be gross, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna make one with like a steak rub seasoning and maybe some liquid smoke. You're obviously gonna use a ton of butter for this. And then I'm gonna make one, I don't know, kind of like the more traditional with the one that's really popular, which is the Old Bay seasoning. This right there. I have used this before for a couple other recipes that I've done, other episodes that I've done, and it's really, really good. It brings out a lot of, you know, it just pulls all the seafoody kind of flavors together, but we're gonna try that. And I might make one with this tahini too. I don't know, I'm gonna mess around with it. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. We'll test it out. Okay, so I've done a lot of prep ahead of time, but I just wanted to show you how I figured out the easiest way to get these onions peeled. And I'm gonna demonstrate on this one. So first, you're gonna want to take off about, I don't know, I just took off an inch or so, obviously depending on the size of the onion and the shape of the onion. And I just went with, you could probably try like a Vidalia if you wanted to. You could try a red onion. I mean, there's a lot of combinations. If this turns out even half decent, it might be, it's been a long day of filming. If these come out even half decent, it might be worth trying maybe a Vidalia onion, a red onion, something else. So take about that much off the top. I'm just gonna take just the tiniest sliver off this, because my thought process is I want it to sit flat, but I don't want to take too much off the bottom, because when it opens, I don't want it to all fall apart. So I just took off a tiny little bit off the bottom. I'm gonna try to take off a little bit more just to try to make it even. Yeah. Here we go. I feel like if you leave the bottom on, it's gonna roll all over the plate. It's gonna make a mess, so I took that off. We're gonna take a paring knife, wherever you've kind of started. Just start. If you're gonna take off this outer thin layer too, I mean, go ahead and do that. Just use a nice paring knife for this. Yeah, I'm not gonna sweat taking off a single layer, just to make it a little easier. So we're gonna take this off. Like this. I found if it gets a little stingy, a little hard, you just take the bottom of your spoon, hold it to match the onion, just kind of spin it around. Comes right off. It's a pretty cool trick. I can do less and less without my glasses nowadays, so every once in a while, I gotta put them down so I can see. We're done with the knives, we're done with this one. Now that we got our onion relatively flat, we're gonna take our nice little paring knife. We're gonna hold this tight. We're gonna poke it in here. Hold it close to yourself. It has better control that way. And we just kind of scoop around. If you're not comfortable with this, you could try maybe a tomato core, maybe kind of a long, thin apple core. Obviously not the ones that make slices, because then you're gonna disintegrate your onion. There you go. You just want to make a little bath to hold some of your butter from the beginning. See that? That's what you want. Looks good. Still looks a little crooked. OCD. Yeah, nice and flat. There we go. Put them all right on this little pan so they all stay nice. I'm gonna take, like I saw online, I'm gonna take probably about, this should be 2 tablespoons, it might be a little bit less. I'm just gonna kind of jam this in here. This is crazy, right? TikTok, these people with their craziness. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Jam it all in that space. Get in there. There we go. I'm assuming this is gonna create the butter to just kind of sink down and cook the middle. Now, this is like a chipotle steak seasoning and a tiny bit of liquid smoke. So we're gonna take, this is a whole stick of butter. So this is like 8 tablespoons. So I'm gonna try to do like 2 tablespoons of each. So we got our barbecue-y one. We got, this is the straight tagine, or tahine, however you say it. I'm gonna mix butter in with that. I figured that one has a kind of enough flavor on its own. You could actually add maybe a splash of lime juice to it if you really wanted to try that out. This is your more traditional, I guess, crawfish boil mix, and I apologize to anybody who lives down south. I just don't know. I've never had the opportunity to go down there and check it out, but trust me, if I ever get down there, the first time I see some kind of crawfish boil, anything like that, I'm gonna be all over it. So this has salt, garlic powder, onion powder, a little paprika, and a bunch of Old Bay. Put that in there. And this one is just paprika and the adobe seasoning. It's gonna be kind of our south of the border situation. Put that to the side. Let me give these a quick little mix. Make sure we distribute those flavors. Here we go. Get them nice and mixed up. Something tells me this is gonna be wild. So now, it's the best way to do this. Let's, I got our aluminum foil. I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna kind of wrap it up like that. Maybe, you know what? Let's get a second pan. There we go. We'll do 2 on each. Now this foil, kind of start to create our implement of boiling or baking, which is weird because you don't even technically boil these. It's more of steaming them. And quite frankly, I'm gonna steam these or boil them for 5 minutes less than what I heard them, and then I'm gonna kind of open them up a little bit, and then I'm gonna blast them under the broiler because I almost want to give them a little bit of a roast with it. So we get this one, last one. Look, I'm as curious as you to see how these turn out. How are we gonna differentiate? You think I'm just gonna be able to smell these when they're done, or should I try to mark them? Yeah, we'll go for it. This one I'm definitely gonna know because this one reeks of liquid smoke and barbecue seasoning. So we're gonna take this and we're just gonna pour that all over the top. Then we're gonna make sure we don't lose our liquid. We're gonna seal it up. Not too tight because we don't wanna not be able to get it open when it's hot. Ooh, it does look pretty good though. I'm very, very curious. 2 ready to go. Last 2. This is the one with our Old Bay. flavor country. Get out of it. You know what? I want those flavors. So get on in there.
5 minutes later.
All right, so now that we got these all wrapped up, I'm gonna throw them into the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes, and then I'm going to try something different than what I saw. I'm gonna stop boiling them after 25 minutes, and I'm gonna unwrap them a little bit, and then I'm gonna roast them, because I wanna get a little bit of roast to it too. I just think it'll be better. So, and then we'll come back and we'll taste them. So sit tight, we'll see how this turns out. Okay, took them out of the oven, roasted them a little bit. Yeah, these are looking good. So I'm gonna transfer these into these cups. I'm gonna try to get this liquid right on top of these. Ooh, hot. Yeah. This one, unfortunately, it tore a hole through the bottom, so a lot of the liquid poured out, but we are going to pour it right off the pan. Whew, look at that. That. Got this one, looking good. I like the way they kind of stayed together. Ooh. Like I said, never done this before, trying it out. Let's get this set in here. This one's pretty big. Pour this right on there. Ooh. Oh, kind of making a mess. Let's get a close look at this one. Huh? That's it. Oh, made a big old mess here. We're gonna clean that up after. All right, let's taste these. Okay, so like I said, I was gonna try to keep track of which one is which, and now I've completely lost track, but they look pretty good. I mean, they seem to just fall right apart. I'm assuming you just kind of cut into it. Oh, this is gonna be messy. Let's see what the hubbub is all about. Let's see if I can cut this. Maybe serrated isn't the right tool to use here. Paring knife? Oh, for sure. Let's see what the hubbub's all about. I think this is the tahini. It's really good. I mean, it's got a lot of onion flavor. Easy to make. This would actually make a decent side. This one is the original. Let's try this. Get some flavor on there. It's not bad either. This is the Old Bay one. I'm gonna set that aside for after. This is our adobe. This one has a lot of nice flavor to it. I like that one a lot. This is the smoked with the barbecue. That's a nice looking bite. Ooh, that one's hot. Wow. Besides being really, really hot, the barbecue one, it's got some really nice flavor to it. I mean, I could see any of these being a nice side for a steak and some potatoes. You take a little bit of that onion, a little piece of that steak, eat that together. That'd be really nice. Yeah, overall, I mean, it's a great idea for a side. I don't know if I'd eat it as like a snack. That might be too much onion, maybe for me. If you're an onion lover and you love any of these certain flavors, yeah, go ahead and try it. Butter the thing, wrap it up, throw it in the oven, roast it a little bit. I like the little bit of char on it. I think the caramelization of the onion adds to it, so that's what I would do. So yeah, overall, I don't know. I'd have to give it a thumbs up. And I'm giving you a thumbs up for watching. Wow, that was corny, but I said it, and I'm gonna keep it in. So, look, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. I got a video up here. I got a bunch of videos down here. Check them out. Check out the link to my Amazon storefront. I'd really appreciate that. I have no sponsors yet because I'm not that big enough of a channel for people to be reaching out and make sponsors, and I want to get there. So do me a favor. Check out these videos, like, subscribe, and when you're done doing all that, go cook something.